Okay, for the coconut part of the cake, I measured out 1 cup of sweetened shredded coconut. Okay, lay it out on a baking sheet, and we're gonna toast it in the oven. I have the oven at 300 degrees. I let it toast. I go in there and shake it up a little bit, turn it over, and it's gonna take about 30 to 45 minutes, because you have to go slow, otherwise it'll burn. So we're gonna do this part first. And okay, for the cake part of this recipe, I use 1 box any pre-made cake mix. I like to pick up the pineapple flavor just to intensify the pineapple in this recipe. So you just follow the directions on the label. I break this up a little bit before I add my ingredients, okay? This calls for 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 3 eggs. Okay, I am going to add, I have an 8-ounce can of crushed pineapple, okay? And I drain the juice and I add that to my cake mixture, and it calls for 1 cup of water, but I use the juice, and I use half of the can of the pineapple. Add to this, I also add a teaspoon of vanilla. That might have been a little bit more, but that's okay. Now the almond extract is where you need to be careful, because that really, you're going to use just 1/4 of a teaspoon, 1/4 of a teaspoon of coconut extract, just a little bit. And that's what gives it that real tropical flavor. Then you just give it a good whisk. And of course you're going to have your oven preheated at 350 degrees. I can smell the pineapple juice in here. It's going to be delicious. Okay, we're going to set this aside, and we're going to move on to the flan portion of this recipe. For the flan portion, we're going to use 1 can, and we are going to mix this in the blender. If you don't have a blender, that's okay. You can mix this by hand. I just find it easier to do it in here, and that's how I've always done it. Okay, we're going to put 1 whole can of evaporated milk, 1 cup of whole milk, 1 whole can of condensed milk, 3 whole eggs. Now we're going to put in the rest of that pineapple, the other portion of the pineapple that we had from the cake part of this, and we are going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, half of a teaspoon of coconut extract. I'm just going to do it up here. And 1/4 of a teaspoon of almond extract, because that one is very strong, so I go easy on that. That's really going to give it that tropical flavor. Okay, I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to puree this till it's very smooth. Boy, you can smell this. It smells like a tropical island here. Okay, we're going to start pouring this into our cake pan. Okay, here I have an 8-inch bundt pan that I have buttered all the way around, okay? And I am going to use a pre-made caramel sauce. This is the Ghirardelli premium sauce. This stuff is really good if you haven't tried it. You're going to put about 1/4 cup of caramel at the bottom, and I just squirt it in there, just like that. Now, we're going to add our liquid first. Pour in our liquid slowly. And then we are going to get our cake batter. It smells like heaven in here. It's delicious. I can smell all the pineapple, and I can smell everything. As I tilt this, I start turning the cake pan to try to get an even layer all the way around. Okay, now that we've poured all our batter in here, I just take a spatula real gently, and I just try to even it out as much as I can without pressing down too hard, okay? And this is ready for the oven. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna transfer you over to the oven so I can show you how we prepare the pan. Okay, our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I have this tray, another baking tray that I have in the oven that we're gonna add water to. First, I'm gonna add my cake pan, and then I'm gonna add hot water to it. And just bring it up as high as you can. That should be good right there. And then very carefully slide it back in. Okay. Okay guys, I'm going to clean up here. The cake is in the oven. It's going to stay in there for about an hour and 10 minutes. I don't open it or check it because I already know that's about the time it takes to cook. And I'll be back. Okay, I took the cake out of the oven. It was in the oven for an hour and 10 minutes. I am going to do the toothpick test. Stick it all the way in. Bring it out. And it's completely clean. But we need to let this sit for an hour and then we can flip it onto our serving platter. The cake has been resting for about an hour and a half. It's time to flip it over. And I have this platter here that has a little raised edge here. And that's so that the syrup won't spill over. So I just grab my platter, put it on top, and give it a quick flip. Okay, and then just raise it up slowly. This is what it looks like. Smells delicious. And now what I like to do is I take a little bit more of the caramel sauce and I sprinkle just a little bit more on top, and then we're going to sprinkle the coconut that we toasted earlier. The coconut is just shredded sweetened coconut that I bake in the oven. I put it at 300 degrees for 30 minutes, and you just give it a little shift every now and then so it doesn't burn on you. And then you sprinkle this on top. I like to present it with some maraschino cherries, just like that. This is our piña flan cake. And there you go, guys. This is what it looks like. I wish you could smell this. This just smells like a tropical heaven right now. Okay, guys, I am going to cut into it so you can see the inside of the cake, and hopefully y'all give it a try. I'm just going to lay it down because it seems to want to fall down. Okay, guys, here it is. This is our cake. And this is what it looks like. This is a great cake for any occasion. And after this, you want to, whatever's not eaten, you want to put it in the refrigerator because of course it is custard. So you do want to keep it covered and in the refrigerator. Okay guys, I hope y'all give this recipe a try. It's delicious. It's good for any occasion. Whatever you don't eat, you may want to store in the refrigerator because it is custard. So don't leave it out. I hope you give it a try. If you like it, come back and let us know if it worked out. Give us a big old thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.